reflects one of the many dimensions of Gene that I got to know, and I was one of the people I got to know Gene very early. And as you know, the extent to which she would go and help you individually on a personal basis, the things she never had to do. In one instance, I forget the name of the hotel now, Mamasa, where there's the club down below. She used to quick you up upstairs.
The Plaza.
The Plaza Hotel. I don't know if the disco or the club is still downstairs.
Still there. Oh, yes.
She didn't know. She didn't know there was a club downstairs. The hotel was beautifully located, close to the train station, and lunches are delicious. She puts me into that hotel. And at 2 in the morning, the ice is shaking. She doesn't know that she comes back. She's so apologetic. I'm so sorry. So she went down there and started to bitch to these people. Shut up! Because this one person is upstairs that's part of it. There's stories like that galore. Another story, and I told this to Rams, as they call it. Because Jean, you could go to her house anytime. Anytime. Bill had gotten us FSI housing, as I think Clancy Smith Jr. isn't here. But the Bill, when he was at FSI, got us during the summer. As you know, the State Department people are out, so could we say this?
Don't say it in front of Mr. Ambassador. I'll get in trouble.
Did Bob get one of these? I'm sure he did. We're friends. The word is out. Bill used to give free housing.
In trouble.
X used to give free housing.
I don't know. Something like that. Anyway, one of the houses was on the beach, and in La Mazda, and one day I locked myself out, and there were steel bars in the window, very thin bars, very thin spacing between those bars, which obviously I could not get through. I couldn't get in. I go to Jean's house, Jean's trying to figure out a way. She doesn't have a key. Bill, I don't know what Bill is. Ramsey, how old were you then? Going on one thin rail of a boy, comes in, sneaks through those steel doors, because I literally have not seen him since then. And then I said, who are let me get through that door now. But anyway, but this was Gene. This was someone you could go to night and day for any occasion, beyond all professional responsibilities and the personal touch. There are endless stories, I'm sure everyone else has as well. And I reflected one of them here. She was a wonderful Indian, and I love it myself.
My story began in Algiers. 1994. 1994 it was right the same week when the GIA had taken over the French Airbus. The hostages, the situation that ended in France. And I was plan was made that I would get married on those days. And so I arrived on Tuesday there. Then what to do? There was no question of bringing the wife because it's impossible to get a visa. The consulate was in Tunis, closed in Algeria, and also as only green card holder, you could only wait 3 years. So then you cannot get like a EU citizen within weeks. So gave up on that idea, didn't even go. So get married and then take the time needed to bring them here. So then some relatives say, how about a honeymoon? Go somewhere, get lost, for a few days. Say, okay, that's good. So we went to Tunisia. And of course, give a call to Jean and Khalid, and how are you doing? Yeah, come on for dinner, So as usual, so we went for dinner. Go to the house, of course, it's okay, marvelous. And then discussion, she was busy, finally married. And then she said, what are you going to do about your wife now? Well, this is what's happening. And she's just going to have to go back. We're going to go back and then we're going to wait at least a year. She said, listen, tomorrow I'll talk to the consul. He said, just go for a chat. You never know. And I said, I wasn't even there because it's useless at this point. And in the morning, early in the morning, she called me in the hotel. She said, you got an appointment at 10 o'clock. Go for a chat. I couldn't believe it, but then I said, let's go. So we went. We said, the counsel, I forgot his name, a wonderful man. We spent like an hour and a half talking about history. talking about politics and theology. My wife didn't understand English. She was just sitting by. She was wondering what was all this about. And then at the end, he said, you know, what are you going to do? I said, well, I'd love to take her with me. And he said, she's an educated person, just an engineer, and she's going to help America. And you have anything to show me? I said, well, you know, whatever you need to show you. I said, then just show them. I had always carried with me pencils to learn these things. You know, always carry pencils. It helps. Money talks. And he said, can you bring me 2 pictures this afternoon? No problem. We flew from Tunis to New York. We shocked the family out of its socks when they called them from New York. This was the work of Jesus. It was marvelous. The second story was I went one of my work visits, research visits. One day I visited the museum with some Tunisian friends, and then I got a poster from there. Wonderful poster. I fell in love with it. I bought it in the museum, and then I just remembered maybe a year or 2 years later, I said, what the heck happened with that poster? And then put it aside in my mind. Then we had the meeting in Florida. Yes, I was in Florida many years ago. Jean walking with a poster. Jean, she said, is this yours, Azadine? I said, yes. How she remembered it was probably left it in her office, and she carried it all the way from Tunis to here. So that story was probably 2007 or 2008. I told the Ramsey story. I was giving the talk in the Naval Defense College, bi-yearly talk I give them. And then one day, just like a 2-nighter, go in and out and come back, and then I get a message from Jean. She said, I know where you were last week. You were in Rome, and guess who was doing the translation? Yeah, Muna. And I answered, said, why didn't she come out on the booth to say hello? She said, you were too busy. The following time I went, Muna came out on the booth, and it was a joy to see.